back to our YouTube channel, The Keto Way of Life. This channel is dedicated to helping you learn how to cook and bake the keto way. Today for our Thanksgiving special, we have a caramel pumpkin keto cheesecake. Sorry, I'll cut that out. So sit back, relax, and enjoy!
Okay, so you're going to start off by opening your pan and putting a piece of parchment paper on the bottom of your springform pan. This is a bit of a tricky process, but if you use the edge of the counter, you should be able to get it to snap shut with your parchment paper safely in like this. Now I'm just going to take a scissors and cut off the edges so it's kind of round and it's just easier to grab. Then I'm going to take a big piece of tin foil and start wrapping my pan. It's very important that you do this because you are going to put your pan inside water when you bake it in the oven. And you do not want any water to seep into your cheesecake. It will make it very soggy. I'm going to use another piece and overlap it. And when you tear off these pieces, make sure there are no holes or rips in your tin foil whatsoever. So your bottom should be completely smooth. There should be no open seams anywhere on this. Then I'm just going to open it back up and use the scissors and cut off the tops of these edges. When you've done that, you just want to fold the edges around a little bit. It's important that your edges are not too big, otherwise they're going to dip into your cheesecake. Right? So once you've done that, you are going to do 1.5 cups of almond flour, 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal, 3 tablespoons of sweetener, and 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then just use a fork and mix this up. Now you're making a graham cracker crust here. You do 6 tablespoons of melted butter, and you want it to make nice, soft clumps. Make sure you spray your pan just so it doesn't stick. Now I'm going to add my crumbs to the bottom of the pan and press them into the bottom and part way up the sides. When I'm done with that, I'll put it in the oven and let it bake for 10 minutes while I make my cream cheese filling. That's 3 packages of cream cheese, 5 tablespoons of softened butter. Your cream cheese should also be room temperature when you do this. Then I'm going to do 1/4 cup of sour cream, a cup of sweetener, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. You want to make sure that you beat everything before you add your eggs, and you add 3 of them. After you add your eggs, you want to use your mixer on low and not for too long, otherwise your cheesecake will have bubbles. You also want to try to make sure you don't have any lumps of cream cheese in there, so make sure it was soft. I'm going to do a can of pumpkin into a other smaller container, and about 1 tablespoon of sweetener. Then I'm going to add about half of my cheesecake mixture. I'm going to mix it in smooth, and now when my crust is baked and cooled, I'm going to put my cream cheese mixture in the bottom and then add the pumpkin cream cheese mixture on top of that. And making sure the top is smooth is very important. Next, I'm going to put it in a pan of water and bake it for about 60 minutes, and then I'm going to make my caramel sauce. That's a quarter cup of butter, 3 tablespoons of brown sweetener, and 3 tablespoons of bocha sweet. It's very important that you have both of these. Now once it's mixed and it starts to boil for about 3 minutes and turns a golden brown, you're going to add half a cup of heavy whipping cream. It should fizzle a little bit, that is completely normal for it. Then add a quarter teaspoon of xantham gum and whisk it ferociously around so that there are no clumps. A quarter teaspoon of salt. And whisk it again. Then you can return it to the heat and bring it back to a boil for about a minute and add 2 tablespoons of water. Now after you've let your cheesecake set overnight, you can remove it out of the tin foil. Pour your caramel sauce over your cheesecake and let it sit in the fridge for a few hours to set. In a bowl, add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and sweetener to taste. You want to blend that until it becomes light and fluffy and holds peaks. Now, remove your cheesecake from the pan. This is a very tedious process, so make sure you're careful so your cheesecake doesn't come off with your pan. Place your cheesecake onto a piece of cardboard or plate. Now you can cut your cheesecake. I like to use this watermelon slicer to make sure that all my slices are even. I like to put my knife into a jar of hot water so that it's warm in between each time I cut. It just makes the whole process much more smooth. Now I'm going to add dollops of my heavy whipping cream mixture. And there you have it.
So if you enjoyed that video, hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Go out there and be happy. Meet your goals. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, foodie. A keto cheesecake that has the flavor of pumpkin. I'm bad at English. There's a fly. Okay. We hope you've enjoyed that video. If you had, you stole